Hello everybody, good morning, and thanks for making it on a Sunday morning. Without wasting time, I will start with my topic. It's Fedora QA, testing in open source world. Okay, so this presentation will cover, this is my agenda, few questions like what is the Fedora QA, why it is so important for us doing testing in open source, and how you can contribute in it. So before knowing what it is very important to know why it is important to know about it. So as you all know, that Fedora has a very fast release life cycle. Every 6 months, it releases a new version of it. So and it has Rawhide, always rolling. We have the feature coming in every now and then. So it means that there is a chance of bugs more. We'll end up having a buggy product if we don't have proper testing. And Fedora QA makes sure that it should be a quality product, reliable and perform, but it should perform well for its users. So it is very important to have testing in place. And plus, as we all know, that testers tend to think in a negative way. They get paid for breaking things, which is a very nice thing. So if a developer making a thing to accept a 0 value or a negative value, we purposely will give a positive or infinity or some such value which will break the system, and we'll try to test all those corner cases. So that is how we'll make sure that the product will come out beautiful in such a way that user will like it. And yeah, so another major important thing is we have to select from such options which are not the options, I guess. It should really go during the release meetings or go-no-go meetings. I want to give an example. During the last release of Fedora 21, we had a very nice bug which was nice to be fixed, which have proposed as a blocker bug. That was for Anaconda installation, but we could not fix it. It was not accepted as a blocker bug because we had a longest release life cycle in the last release cycle, which was 9 or 10 months. We did not have time. Developers did not have that much time to fix it, and we decided not to fix it during that cycle. We'll make a note in release dot or something like that, and we pushed it. So these are the things which happen sometime, and we really have to take hard decisions on such things. Moving to what Fedora quality team does, or as a community, what they do. These are just the 1/4 of the tasks which they actually do. Rawhide update, release validation testing, requesting composers from the RelEng team, automated validation testing. We'll go in the depth while we in further details also. But these are just the main areas where they contribute and where they make sure that the product has to be tested and qualified properly. Arranging test days, weekly meeting, building new test strategies, etc. So this is very important flow which we need to understand. How we go along with the release engineering cycle. As we all know, in Fedora we have Rawhide, then we have the branching point. Branching point is when we, apart from the Rawhide, like this is the rolling branch, master branch of Fedora, where all the features are coming in. We never stop it, we never freeze it. But there is one point where a branch has to come out of it, where we say we won't accept the new features here, we'll just do testing and we'll fix the bugs. That is the branching point, and it will be coming during this week, I guess, for Fedora 22. So after that, we request many test composers, release candidates, then we have alpha, beta, and final release. So this is the test, this is the task stack which we execute in parallel to each and every milestone we have. So we have the validation testing. These are the events we have to trigger for each and every test compose and release candidate. Whenever there is a new build coming in, for Rawhide we have nightly build coming in every day, but we pick a build after 4-5 days, and or where we think that this is the time to take a build to test it, and then we create an event, and it is automated by the RelEng, and there is a bot configured for it. It is created by Adam Williamson, this tool RelEng, and it creates a release validation test event along with the release validation test plan, which test cases needs to be executed for this particular build. Now we all know that we have different flavors for Fedora. In Fedora 21 have released server, workstation, product. So we have tweaked our test cases in such a way that we can give a nice coverage for all the flavors in Fedora. And then we request for the composers image creation to the release engineering team, that this is a somewhat stable build, we think, nightly build. Now we should request for the image or the compose to be tested. Then we have test event create, which I have already explained. It covers the installation and the basic testing. In Fedora QA, we focus on installation part much more, because that is the main part of the Fedora, and we test it on the different platforms. We test it on different hardwares and different architectures. Then if there is any bug, we report it in such a way that it should be categorized. Is it a normal bug according to priority, or it is a blocker bug? Blocker bug means the release is not ready for to be released. The build is not ready to be released. This bug is blocking the release. It cannot be released. If anybody of you want to be a hero in one day, you should make sure that you test the build, and you should able to find a bug which should block a release, which is a big thing. And then there are the freeze exceptions. How they are different from the blocker bug is, the blocker bug will block a release, but a freeze exception on the other hand will not block a release. It is nice to be fix that bug. It is nice to have that bug. Even we accept the fixes during the build time, but it is not very mandatory to fix it before having a release. Okay, so next is the milestone freeze. Milestone freeze happens for every milestone, alpha, beta, and final release, and it happens 2 weeks before the actual release. It means that we have reached to the stage where we can say blocker bugs are less, they have addressed properly, they have fixed, and now we are fast approaching to our milestone. And for that, we have funny go, no go meetings, which are very lengthy meetings, in which we make sure that there are no blocker bugs, there are not many freeze exceptions, product should go or it should go or no go, and we decide that it should go, and then we release it in alpha, and then we move to beta and gold build. And in every this between the milestone, we repeat all these processes again and again. So apart from that, we do many small things along with the major tasks, so that we can involve the community also in the testing. So it is very important to involve as many people as we can in testing, because Fedora is the product which is being used across the globe, and many people are using it for different platform, different architecture, and for different devices. So it is important to get the feedback and get it tested on different things, and to address the different bugzillas. So to make sure that we involve the community properly, we send a test announcement mail on the mailing list, which will tell you this build is ready and being testing, and we are in this phase of the life cycle, and this is the link for the build, test cases, and test plans. This is how the test page and the result page looks like. You can log in with your FAS account. You can actually put the execute the test cases and put the result in this way. This is a blocker bug web application where you can propose a blocker. Otherwise, you can log it into the Bugzilla. Fedora uses Red Hat instance of the Bugzilla, and you need to have a FES account for that to log in a Bugzilla account, and then you can propose it as a blocker bug. But keep in mind, for alpha, beta, and final release, we have different criteria for making a bug blocker. So apart from this, what Fedora QA does in the testing, different bits, kind of testing what it does is Rawhide testing, update testing. We'll look into a little brief on it. So Rawhide is, as you know, it's always rolling and it's not stable. It's not good to test it in the production environment. So it's up to you. If you want to really test it, use it a VM, install it on a VM and log a bug against Rawhide. This is the Rawhide report which we get on the daily basis on test mailing list, which will tell you which package is already broken. So there is no sense in logging a bug against that particular package. Now update testing. Update testing is whenever we release a product, it is not 100% bug free. There are the patches coming in each and every time, or there are the new features coming in. There are the maintainers who make changes in the code. So it is necessary to test those updates as well. There are ways to do it. This is the Bodhi. We can use Bodhi web interface, or there is a tool, command line tool, which is Fedora Easy Karma tool, which you can install and you give the karma by command line. So how does it work is, you have one package and a maintainer has done a patch for it or updated that particular package. You have to install that package, execute some test cases against it, and need to give a karma. If this is a 3 karma, it means it's a stable package and go into the repository. If it is -3, it means it is scrapped, it's not working, and we give it back to the developer. But so this is the process of giving a karma. And Taskotron is a automated tool which runs automated test cases against the package which is there up for the testing. But there is one thing to be noted, that it's developers' responsibility, that it is nice to have the unit test cases against each and every package. You are updating a package or maintaining a package and you are not giving unit test cases, the basic test cases which should be executed whenever there is a patch or there is an update. Because if a person has a time to test it in the community, we should not be bother him for doing research on that particular thing to grab the test cases from the he has to create the test cases first for executing it. That should not be the case. So it will be good if developers can, or the maintainer can have some unit test cases in place. This is how you configure your update testing repository. You can do it for the entire system, or you can do it for some particular packages if you want. Similarly, as we have the Rawhide testing report, we also have the update testing report in our mailing list, which will tell you which all updates are coming. If you, for example, I work for 389 Directory Services project. So if there is any update coming in upstream for 389 in this mail, I will look for that in Bodhi. I'll go and download the package, install it and test it and give the karma to that package. So everybody can do it in the way they are working on some product or some particular package they are interested in. Bugzilla. This is the main tool which each and every tester uses in their day-to-day life. So as I told you, Fedora uses Red Hat instance of Bugzilla. But the problem is that, actually problem is on both hands. At the part of the tester, they log a bug in such a way that it is not quite clear from the bug, that what is the issue, and from the developer side, they tend to come after a long time or 2 months or 3 months gap. I'm not sure whether it is due to their tight schedule or whatever, and they ask for the information after 3 months or 4 months for the Bugzilla which is opened. So that is the problem why we have thousands and thousands of bugs which are in zombie state in the Bugzilla right now. Earlier we used to have a bug triaging team, but that is not working right now because that work is actually not very rewarding also, and it's kind of boring. So it's our duty, the tester's duty, to have a Bugzilla logged in such a manner that a developer should understand what the issue is. There are some prescribed fields which you should always put with the right information in place, and I think it's up to developers to get it fixed or to give the attention to the Bugzilla and ask the information at right time, not after 6 or 7 months where I don't remember what the issue was. Okay, so ABRT is a very nice tool, which is automatic bug reporting tool. You can configure it in such a way that whenever there is a an event, there should be some related instruction to be executed. For example, I have configured it for my product directory services. Whenever there is a crash, it triggers a mail. So it has a facility also, that it has a feature also. If there is a crash, it will open a bug in the Bugzilla directly with the crash report and everything in place. So you can use it, and if you really think that you are a good contributor and you want to brag about it, you can use this tool created by Alexander, which will tell how many bugs you have worked on till date. As I told you, try to follow the guidelines, Bugzilla etiquettes whenever you open a bug. This is an example of nicely opened bug, obviously by me. And okay, test days. This is another job of the Fedora QA team to help people organizing a test day. It can be done by developers also, it can be organized by testers also, and if you need any help, you can approach testers. Just to make sure few things, that whenever you are organizing this event, it should not clash any other big event. Like we are having a QE camp after the DevConf, and you are organizing a test day during that time, it is not, might be a good time to have it. And then make sure that you publicize in this way that the developers who work on that package or feature on which you are having test day should be free, relatively have time to work on it. Testers should be there, and the people who use it should be available. So all these are the guidelines to follow while you are organizing a test day. These are the link you can go through in detail if you really want to do it. Okay, this is the Fedora calendar, which will tell you which test day fall on which day. Like one we are having, which is very important for Fedora, that is Anaconda DNF test day. First time we are having it, and if you can join, it will be great. Okay. Apart from this, all these things, we are continuously improving the processes. As you all know that we have changed the Fedora, it has been divided into flavors and all those things. But we have to tweak our testing processes according to all these things to match up to the what we have changed in the Fedora. So for that, we have continuously improving our processes. AutoQA has been replaced by Taskotron. It runs automatically 2 tasks whenever there is an update. It does update testing, which is automated, and my friend Tim is going to talk about on this for 45 hours for the next hour, and he's going to explain it in detail. There are new tools like Wiki Magic, RelEng, OpenQA, and FedFind. All these have been developed so as to make the things automated. Like RelEng is to create the wiki pages automatically. Wiki is the TCMS for Fedora. So now it creates the events and release validation test pages automatically. You don't need to be at the pain to create a wiki page yourself. Then OpenQA is it's under research. We are trying to automate test cases, installation test cases in it, but it is not yet decided to have it. We'll have it in Fedora or not, but I think Bruno guys are playing with this tool. FedFind is the automation done for finding a particular build which we want to test in Fedora during the Rawhide and stuff like that. Early validation testing we have started, like I explained earlier. In the last release also, we had to ignore some bugs which were nice to be fixed, but to avoid such things this time, we have already started the blocker bug review meetings early in the life cycle, so that we should not skip such things which are important. And plan for the early alpha TC1 installation validation testing, like we have already started the validation testing. Already there are the bugs for the Fedora 22 which are proposed as the blocker bugs, which is nice. Compose event listener for the Taskotron and blocker bug. So all these things, whatever it is, the test stats, QA retro, it is not just that we have taken these improvement steps. We are trying to fix the things which we have done not done properly in the last release cycle. So we have a retro page. We collected the feedback from people what went wrong in the last life cycle from the testing perspective, and there was proposal that the developer should be involved in all those meetings we are doing for the Fedora QA, the weekly meetings or the blocker bug review meetings, so that we can get the inputs from the developer at the right time for the issues and all, and we can fix it in the early life cycle. So all these things are happening. So as you know, every drop counts in a big ocean. There are not enough people in the Fedora QA team, but still they are doing very awesome job, but it's always good because testing is the thing which everybody can do. While you are using a product, if you face an issue, you should log it so that it can reach to the right people and to be fixed in the within right time frame. So these are the things you can do on your behalf. At least create a FAS account, and whenever there is an issue, just log a bug. If you don't want to do test days and all those things, at least this is what we can do to make our product better. And this is how you can get help. There are the channels and mailing list mentioned. Yeah, that's it from my side. I finished it quickly. Before that, you pull out your gun and shoot me. So thank you. There's a small team. Tim is there, Peter is there, and Adam. How many? 10. Nine or 10.
There are about, yeah, that sounds about right. There are about 9 full-time folks working for Red Hat who are on Fedora QA. Or are paid to work on Fedora QA.
Yeah.
And then how many do you think that you have that just contribute regularly?
Depends on the day of the week. It depends on our regulars. There's 20 people who are regulars, and then there's other people who, they'll show up some once in a while, which is fine.
Yeah, in fact, we have executed this stat on finding Fedora 21 heroes. There is a post. So it calculates who has contributed how many things in testing, and it fetch their names, and we post it as a Fedora QA heroes. So there are quite a lot, I guess, in that list. Along with your day-to-day work, how much we can contribute in that sense, I think there are reasonable amount of people there who does contribution.
Can you explain a little bit more how the karma works and when it actually just gets accepted? Because nobody's really given karma.
What is that?
How's the karma work, like in order to get a patch approved?
Okay, so whenever there is a update for a package you are looking for, there is a mail coming in the mailing list, Fedora mailing list, you can get a notification that this package needs testing, and then you can go to the Bodhi. If you want to configure command line tool, there is a command line tool also, Fedora Easy Karma, or yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
So if nobody gives karma, what happens?
After a few days, it goes.
That's not quite right. If no one gives, the only time that it's going to be auto-pushed. In general, the way that Karma works is that you, assuming that it's set up with the default, you need 3 + 1s in order for it to be automatically pushed from the testing repository to the stable updates. If no one gives it Karma after 14 days with Fedora, I think it might be longer for Apple, the maintainer can push the update to stable. But the only way that it happens automatically is if the auto push feature is turned on and they meet the minimum Karma requirements. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
but bunch of tests executes every time automatically by Taskotron, which is auto operate and temp check, 2 tasks which every time runs without anybody's interference. So that is all. Any questions? Any more questions? Yeah.
What's the relationship, if any, between Fedora QA and RelQA? When we started consuming RHEL 7 in the layered product, we encountered a lot of bugs we also found in Fedora later, so we assume they would have been caught a lot earlier.
So if I understood your question correctly, is it you want to say how the bugs are addressed when we have so many bugs in Fedora 17 lifecycle? And
I'm asking if there's any cross communication between Fedora QE and RHEL QE.
Yeah, definitely there is. In these meetings, we invite RHEL engineering also, and it's the decision of both teams for go no go. So yes, we communicate with them.
I think you may have misunderstood this question.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I understood. I think he was talking about REL QE, not RelEng.
Okay.
REL doesn't have much of and they don't have a direct say as REL QE in the go no go.
Yeah. So he's talking about RHEL in QA.
Q testing teams. So
Oh,
so you have
no.
Fedora in
No.
one hand and RHEL on the other hand. And
Okay,
you have the
no.
Q test teams. If you guys
No. There is no direct much communication between them. But there is a communication between the RHEL developers and the RHEL Fedora QA, because I have seen bugs logged against Fedora, and they propose it for the RHEL also if somebody wants to test. Because for 389, I remember there was a bug for FIPS, and I have tested it on RHEL bits, and it was there also. So developers fixed it in RHEL and Fedora, both versions. So.
My question is kind of the same. I mean, we have a massive testing infrastructure. We've written hundreds of unit tests for the packages on my team in RHEL.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I know, there's nowhere we can create unit tests for our packages in Fedora. And we certainly don't want to go and recreate all those tests that we've already done for RHEL. So should we just not produce unit tests for Fedora? Do we not care?
Are they not in tree?
Well, they're not. No, they're not in the source tree. They're separate, completely separate from the packages. Yeah.
So my right way sounds in tree.
I think you're asking the wrong person. You should be coming after me with that question. Okay. And I'll answer some of that later. We can go into it now, but it's her presentation, not mine. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, when you say unit tests, you're talking about the just various automated checks that run RFES tests. There is a not so simple answer. Until recently, that's all been regarded as very secret sauce.
So that's supposed to be closed source. That's what gives Red Hat their competitive advantage. Recently, there's been more of a movement to try and get that stuff opened up. It's something that we hadn't dealt with for a long time because we knew we couldn't do anything with it. We are trying to get a Beaker instance working in Fedora. It is close, not quite to the point where it is ready to use. If you're interested in using it, find me and I can get you access to it. It has a few issues still, so that's why I haven't been, publicizing it. It's not backed up, it's not production ready, but it does work with a few caveats. So it's something we're interested in, it's something we're working towards, but it's nothing ever goes as quickly as you'd like. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made this since I came in late. Are you 10?
Yeah.
So, is there anything else? I have 5 minutes left. If not, I would like to mention there is a glitch in the feedback page. There are the options which should not be there. There is only one valid option which is excellent. So please go there and choose that. Thanks a lot.